Boy, you're recognized.
Thank the chairwoman, and thank you gentlemen for coming up here and testifying and for the work on the bill. I just want to clarify that that I'm correct that we are in the NDAA that we are authorizing levels that are keeping spending flat at current level spending, and that's reflective of the work that was done on the reconciliation package, that there was some money in there for defense, and reflective of the overall agreement to try to keep spending at that level. But I just wanted to confirm that's the case. My understanding of the bill is that right?
That's correct,
Mr. Chairman. Okay.
With the one caveat,
please.
The 150, I think it's 100, ultimately wound up being 156 billion was added through the reconciliation process.
I know that's what I was noting, is that inconsistent with what we had done previously with the reconciliation package, and that was important, and that was a part of the overall effort to ensure defense is where it needs to be. And then the second thing I would note is just a point that it is. I know there's still some deliberations going on, but with respect to amendments and whether they're going to be tied to HASC's jurisdiction versus something broader, and if it's sticking to HASC jurisdiction and that's consistent, then I'll accept that. But that I do feel strongly for getting beyond that, the language that I've had now for a while on terminating the AUMFs that have been lingering for far too long, that we need to address those issues. But obviously, if we're sticking to a rule that's consistent.
We're not sticking to that consistent rule, and I'm with you. I think your amendment should be included, and personally, I think if we have issues that are agreed and the committees of jurisdiction are agreed, I think we should use the NDAA vehicle to pass what we can pass as a legislative body. And also, we make exceptions to that. And just to fuel your argument a little bit, in this rule already is the amendment on cryptocurrency, which has nothing to do with our jurisdiction, which has been included. So the rule gets violated when leadership wants to violate the rule, and I think they ought to be inclusive of all of us. If we can get something done through this process, we should get it done. Now, you can't override the committee of jurisdiction, but working with them, I think it ought to be included.
Well, we'll see how the debate goes through the day on that, but I did want to make sure, just for the record, that it's clear. I think there's significant bipartisan agreement that, look, we can agree on the need to have clarity on the authorizations of the use of military force, and there's bipartisan agreement in the need for the authorizations of the use of military force where it's appropriate around the globe, but that we do not need to be operating under 23-year-old authorizations of force. So I'd certainly like to be able to address that issue if we're, and as long as it's consistent with rules that we're going to apply how we operate, and we'll have those conversations today. And I appreciate the gentleman. I yield back.